Whether or not you agree right now, someday you will wake up to the reality that life is a game, and if you do not play, someone else will make your move for you. Your boss will decide your income, your family will decide what life's journey would look like for you, others will decide what kind of relationship you get to have and enjoy. Now, there are a couple of psychological mechanisms that are deciding for you right now. And these are things that a lot of people find quite difficult or uncomfortable to discuss. But if you intend to grow as a person, you would have to face this reality. So I've titled this The Real Opponent. And I know when we talk about the opponent, we would always concentrate on you versus your jealous partner or that jealous friend you have or your toxic family or your work environment that is toxic or not conducive, and or maybe even your neighborhood that you have outgrown. Now, I want to say the real opponent is actually called loss aversion. There was a research done by Kenneman Vasky. I hope I got that right. Please forgive me if I did not. It's even won a Nobel Prize. Now, the finding shows that people feel the pain of losing something roughly twice as intensely as the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. What I gathered from these findings, you will understand why I wrote it this way. Say, it's why you have stayed in a relationship a year too long. Not because there's something still there, because living felt like a loss. This is why you have held on to that group of friends. You had a lot of fun together. Some of you even attended each other's wedding, and you cannot picture life going forward without them, even when you know that these people do not genuinely care about you. Now, I'm not restricting this to friends. Of course, it can be family, and even when you're in a relationship that embarrasses you, you just settle for it. So if you're married, take this particular advice with a pinch of salt, because we all know how technical marriage can be. And this is not me advising you to leave your marriage, but I want you to listen to what I have to say. Now, settling for the wrong relationship, even though you know it's not even making you become better as a person. And also, in your work environment, you find it difficult to ask for a raise. You probably started that company with them. You've put in the work. The company has grown. It has gotten to the point where you know that you have worked so hard and you deserve a raise or you deserve a promotion. But instead of giving you that, your company goes to hire a new person and they give that person better because that person knows their worth and they are not willing to settle like you. No, you're not weak for staying. It happens to even the best of people. That's why you need to keep listening to what I have to say. It's your brain at work here. Your brain is just protecting you. When it sees something that is not familiar, it's going to be difficult for you to start acting that way. That's why it's difficult to break patterns. That's why it's difficult for people to change. That's why it's difficult for you to keep up with that routine. It doesn't mean that you are not a serious person. It just means that your brain is working according to how it was designed. And now I want you to do this. This is a brain trick that works. Don't ask, what am I losing if I leave? And this is the question that most people like to ask because they're always like, I've stayed in this place 5 years and I know I'm going to be losing a lot. Where do I go and start from? How is it going to feel like? Am I even ever going to find a partner that is better than what I have right now? Or you've stayed in that job and you feel like you're too old, or maybe you're in your late 40s and you're like, oh, maybe I should just manage this. Now, please, I need you to be careful. I'm not asking you to go and quit your job. I'm pretty sure that the person that this video is meant for understand what I am saying, understand that pain. I need you to stop asking your brain what you would lose. Instead, this is what you should do. Ask yourself, what am I already losing by staying? That's a question a lot of people do not ask themselves, and that's an important question to ask yourself, especially when you want to move forward in life, or especially when you want to defeat the real opponents, which we have talked about here is loss aversion. By staying in this relationship, am I obstructing myself from getting better out there? By staying in this environment, am I stopping myself from becoming more? By staying in this friendship circle, am I stopping myself from experiencing better friendship? So when you start asking yourself, what am I losing by staying? When you do that introspection, you would get a lot of answers. You'll be so surprised the kind of answers that you will come up with. You already have the answers and it's in there. You're just afraid to dig deep. That's why most times a lot of people don't like to sit with their thoughts. And if you notice, people losing attention is a thing right now. It's not because people don't want to pay attention to a particular thing. Sometimes a lot of people are running from who they are. They're running from their thoughts. And that's why the social media distraction is going to continue to be a distraction. If you want to deal with the real opponent, which is loss aversion, you have to sit with your thoughts. You have to ask yourself, what am I losing by staying? What am I losing by not making that decision? What am I losing by not following through with what I have decided to do? What am I losing if I don't take that risk? So I'll see you in my next video and watch my other videos and see you in that one.